Looks like the war's ratcheting up. I hear the NCR's bringing in elite troops.
Ah, so you came after all. Nice to meet you. Come, take a seat up here at the table when you're ready. Ah, so we finally meet. Jackie told me about you. I bet you were expecting someone a lot more intimidating when you first heard the stories. Sorry for not living up to your imagination. The title of Raider Boss doesn't really conjure up images of a 70-year-old man, does it? No matter. It's good to finally put a face to the name I've been hearing so much about. I have no idea why, but I have a good feeling about you. Probably just nostalgia. Used to be a young nomad myself, always on the lookout for raiders. God, that was probably before you were even born. Anyway, enough about me. What made you decide to come here after all? I formed the Vultures so the people of the Mojave could escape their destiny as a territory of the NCR, or worse, Caesar's Legion. Now, to business. The Hawthorne girl hired you before, and I'd like to replace her as your employer. Don't worry, you'll be paid accordingly. But I'm also offering you a dream of something more, a Vegas free of NCR rule. We're in desperate need of a new system. We're heading down the same path that the old world did, and we can't just stand by and watch it happen. You look like you might want to know more. The Brahmin barons of the NCR are rot that's been allowed to fester. Corruption runs rampant in the halls of Congress because of those bastards. It wasn't always like this. The Republic used to be a far better place. It finally offered a real semblance of safety in the wasteland. Laws were once written to serve the people. Not so much anymore, I'm afraid. Let me give you an example. When President Tandy was in office, there was a limit on the amount of cattle and land a single person could own. The bigger landowners couldn't just be content with their success. They needed to have more to satisfy their greed. In order for that to happen, things would need to change. The barons turned to large-scale lobbying to achieve their goals. As the years passed after Tandy's death, regulation was slowly peeled back until Kimball decided to repeal the land limit entirely. This allowed the cattle market to monopolize and prove that the rich and powerful hold too much sway over the fate of the Republic. So, you believe that hard work should pay off. I'd say most people who aren't crazy would agree. Let me ask you a question, though. Do you think Jack Hawthorne, who has one business meeting a week, has a difficult job? You might say he has to manage a lot of stress, ensuring the business stays together and has to make risky deals. Now, think about the peasant that tends to Hawthorne's crops. What about the stress of their family not getting enough to eat? That and the back-breaking work on a farm is far more difficult than anything Jack has to do. Also, when a big business deal goes wrong, who suffers from his bad performance in the market? Let me give you a clue. It's not Jack. Do you think that's fair for the average worker, who's forced to work a thankless job or else they'll starve? Well, the NCR does have plenty of fools within its borders, but I wouldn't blame the common man. The majority probably don't support the greed of the barons. It starts to make sense when you take a glimpse at the top donations given to each of the largest parties. Look at the biggest contributors in the past 3 elections since Tandy's death. the same names keep popping up: Gunderson, Hawthorne, Weston. However, the people still end up attempting to choose the lesser evil. Politicians live and die by their funding. Just like everything else in this world, money is king. These people have massive influence on the policies each political party run on, to the point where the working man does not have a representative. And so it was a lie sold to the people. A truly free market that would allow anyone with the determination to be a success in the Republic. And what a lie it was. The farmhands who voted Kimball in are working longer hours and getting paid less than what they were all those years ago. Small caravans, businesses, and ranch owners have been pushed out of the market completely as the bigger outfits monopolize. Is that a system you think is worth saving? You're right. Somewhat, anyway. The rule of law has brought peace to the frontier. Applying it is where the Republic runs into problems. Those laws are flexible depending on your social status. The powerful don't suffer the same consequences as the rest of us. One rule for the rich, another for the poor. Gunderson is a fine example of this. He's infamous for intimidating competition within his industry. A complete brute of a man. If he wants someone's land, a few raiders happen to show up to attack their ranches. A few weeks later, he'll conveniently move in. Sure, it's illegal, but grease the right palms and the problem goes away. Anyone else, without the connections, gets put on the chain gang. The system is rotten to the core. It needs to be torn down and rebuilt from the ground up. The NCR may be beyond saving at this point. However, Vegas offers a fresh start. We can build something better. Perhaps inspire the workers of the NCR to break their chains in the process. Join me, and we can build a future for the people of Vegas. Good. You're just the type of person I need. Although the NCR has been trying to get a mole in here for a few weeks now. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to send you off on a little task to prove yourself. I want you to go meet a fellow new recruit. You and him have more in common than you know. Go meet him at the El Rey Motel. He'll be waiting. Use the passphrase, "Hit the beast while it slumbers." If it's him, he should understand and fill you in on the details. Now, it's been good chatting, but these old bones need some rest. So I'll catch up with you once your task is complete. Good hunting.